So this is Air Gunner's Edge. We are back, and if you saw my other video, my Gamo Accu 177, I believe, broke the spring today. Only 1,500 pellets through it, if that. So I figured I'd just share this with you, and I'm going to take it apart real fast, and we're going to take a look and see what made this thing stop working. I'll just give you a quick demonstration if I can. There's no slack at all here. The spring should instantly catch. And yep, I feel the binding and the crunching sound. So I'm pretty much guessing this is going to be a spring issue. I was going to send it back. To be honest, I'm not going to deal with Gamo, and I don't want to deal with Gamo. Just personal choice. I know other people have had marvelous, absolutely incredible experiences with Gamo. I've had 3 or 4, and I've had major issues with every single one of them. So guess what? I got a couple springs here. I got more than a couple, and I do believe one was for my Gamo Accu 22. So I think I'm going to take this apart, and I'm just going to take a look at it. To be honest, I would rather have my 22 working other than this 177. So we're just going to take it apart today, and we'll go from there. Inside, upside down, there are 2, 3 rubber little plugs. You just push those out. Grab a flathead screwdriver for the other one. 4 altogether, but this is what it looks like. You just give these a little push and they come out gently, of course, but firmly. And why we're doing this is to get to the screws that are on the side. They're torque bits, actually. And if I remember correctly, what's this, 25? I am correct. I've never had this gun apart, so I know there is thread lock on here. Try to stay out of the way here. You have to be careful putting these back in. I almost stripped on my Accu 22. Just go slowly, make sure it's at the right angle, and make sure it does not cross thread. I got this here, so we'll put all the parts in there. 2 screws in the stock up front, and one by the trigger will have to be removed so you can take the stock off. These were in there very good and had no issue ever with these coming loose. So I can say one good thing about Gamo. Their screws are always tight, and well, in the ones I've had, and I've never had to torque them. Of course, this is a mild gun, so I believe around 700 and above with 14 grain. I think about 640 with 16, which I prefer to shoot out of this anyways, the 16s. Okay, so all 3 screws are loose. Pop this off. Get the stock out of the way. Little plastic piece on the back. Okay, it's been a while since I've worked on the Accu, but if memory serves me correct, and it usually does when it comes to this, and I'll try to do this so everyone can see. There is a little spring right here. You need to disconnect this first. It slides up underneath this and always puts pressure. This is your safety. Always puts pressure on this, so it always activates. So you'll have to do that first and take this off. I might move the camera over so it's more towards the light. Kind of hard to see from there. So let's give you guys a bird's eye view here. Sorry, try not to block it. Bird's eye view, but I need to still be able to work. Alright, so right here, I'll see if I can find one of my picks, which actually should be right here. Alright. So you just have to kind of gently manipulate this up and over the plastic piece. And do not lose it. Okay, good thing I saw that where exactly where that went, but this slides right out. Then you take this, slide it up and out. And that spring, I'm trying to find it. Hooks right around here. This is the back side. This is the outside. So that spring goes right around. Trying to make it so you can see it. Flip it over. Spring goes right here. Hooks on this. Okay, so now that that is all out. Yeah, I'm probably going to hear crap for this, but you know what? I'm going to take the scope off. Not crap about taking the scope off, but I never, since the spring is bad and there's no pressure, I'm not going to be using a spring compressor. So I know it's not under load. And I just had the scope all zeroed in today too. Oh well, no big deal. This you're probably not going to be able to see, but I put a spacer on the end where I can palm it and push down. And then I just remove this one pin. And this will all come out. Before I do that though, because I'm jumping ahead, take this, give this a little pull up and out. Okay, here's the thing. This will scratch this. This will scratch all of your tube. I could just easily pop this out, which I think is a good idea. That way, if you guys see me do it, you'll do it and you will not scratch anything. So. All right, maybe it's coming. I just don't have the correct punch here at the second. Okay, that pin is out, and this lever is out of the way and will not scratch your tube or your barrel. And I have the pin right here. That goes in there. Now this is pretty much what's left of the gun. I mean, that's it. So, okay, with no further ado, this might be out of sight for a minute, but like I said, I'm just going to put the muzzle on the ground, push here, pop this pin out, and I'll pull it back and demonstrate and show you. Of course, this is a new gun, so it's not like my 22 where it's been taken apart a couple times. Just going to need a little motivation here just to get it going. Yeah. Oops. All right, here's the pin. It is a big sucker. Don't lose any parts, obviously. See, I just popped this right through. I know the pressure of this gun. I've already Been there, done that many times. Yeah, there's very little to no pressure. This actually just slid right out. Just take this out slowly. And there are 2 rubber washers in each side. A little plastic, I should say. But see, this is the issue I had with my other Gamo. Just disgusting, nasty looking grease. And ta-da, I told you, broken spring. Same issue I had with my Gamo Accu 22, broken spring. It's a shame because if more quality was put into this rifle, this is already an amazing rifle. This is why I bought the 177. The 22 is fabulous, and I understand why Gamo said they stopped making it because they weren't making any big orders, but trust me, if we spread the word around on how good of a gun this is, I mean, minus the faulty stuff like this, which is no big deal for me. I just go ahead and change the spring. Not a big deal. But for others, instead of sending it back with a faulty spring and all that jazz, but I mean, this gun is very accurate. It is mid-power, like I mentioned. But the accuracy is incredible. This was my first underlever I ever had, and I was just amazed by it. And this is actually what got me into underlevers. But you can see this. This is just dirty. I mean, this doesn't even look like grease. I mean, it is, but it's just smothered all over the place. And this gun took at least 600 pellets to settle down. And there was smoke, which I was worried about, and which actually a lot of detonation could have caused that spring to fatigue and break. So I don't know, it could have been, but either way, I've had springs break in the Gamos. I'm glad people who do have a Gamo Accu or any kind of Gamo do love theirs. I mean, I won't knock it, but I have a better understanding why some people will turn their nose up at Crossman or Hatson. They've had bad experiences with them, and they don't know how to repair guns. So obviously I would be upset too. But now I know how they feel about other rifles as I do with Gamo. And Gamo would have to do something pretty darn big to make me change their mind. I mean, unless they made a Gamo Accu in a more powerful platform, maybe with a 28 millimeter seal instead of the 25, that would be something else. I don't mind working on rifles, so this is no big deal for me. Okay, I'll just go through the next steps with you on total disassembly. You need to get a small screwdriver up under this lever, and this will pry out. There is a small piece of steel in there, and this is actually plastic here, but this will have to be pried up and taken off so you could slide the rotary breech seal out. And this has not been deburred. This is the first time I opened it up. So I may want to try to deburr this before I try sliding it out, because what I want, if I do put this over into my 22, is the front seal and the O-ring seal. And this is what I'm after for right now, and I've decided I'm gonna get my 22 back working, and I will contact Gamo later on and see if I can get replacement parts for this. Ear seals, hold on. I did get a new breech seal for my Accu 22 from Custom Ear Seals from Australia. It takes about a week to get here. I've also gotten other springs, other piston seals. I've had all good luck. I had okay luck with theirs. It was very long, and unfortunately it put a lot of pressure there. And as this rotary breech because it was so long, kept moving, it kind of did chip it, and wasn't too happy about that. But I took a razor blade, I sliced it very carefully just to get it down, and I flipped it over, and I have a fresh seal there. But I would still like a factory seal. Front breech and O-ring breech seal I would love to get from Gamo. Okay, this is the top hat. I've made quite a few custom top hats for my Gamo Accu 22 with pretty good results. Okay, let me just... So we're going to take a look at the piston seal while we're here. And I'm not trying to knock Gamo or anything. I just want to make sure, because it, like I said, it took at least 600 pellets for this thing to settle down. And I think some damage may have occurred to the piston seal too, so that's why we're going to take a look. But this thing is just absolutely coated. I mean, if you do it right, you do not have to do this kind of mess to an air rifle. You do not need to coat it completely in gunk. All right, see, that's just some nasty stuff right there. I mean, it is. I mean, I've had issues with Hatson, but they were minor and more of an inconvenience than a letdown. This is just kind of a letdown because I was actually going to plan on using that spring, and I did buy this gun originally for a parts gun because I didn't want to have to try and beg for parts from Gamo. At the time, this was probably, I don't know, a year ago or so. I don't know how they are now. I will have to contact them and see if they have improved. Because you know what? I can get almost any part for my Hatson. So I have no complaints there. It may take a little time, and I might not be able to talk to someone live, but I already know what I'm doing. I know what part I need. You look on schematics, pick out the number, write a little email to them. They'll send you something back on the price and what they have in stock. But Gamo, I am not uncertain of. I just know whatever they got all over this thing is just nasty. So, okay, I just wanted to show you this. I will actually take out the breech seal so you can see what it looks like since I'm here, and I really am almost completely have this apart. And if I do this without recording and talking, I would have already been done and everything said. Yeah, that light just keeps falling. Just gently pry on this because there is a steel tab in there and it should move. Yeah. See, this moves up. Here's your little steel ring right on there. You do not want to lose that, otherwise this will just be popping out. And I'll show you a side view how it's in there. Hopefully you can see. But there's that little steel clip in there, and there's like 2 grooves in the plastic. So don't lose it. I have aluminum welding wire. This is what I use. It does not harm the bore. I mean, it's soft material, so I'm not worried about gouging up the rifling or anything else. I just slide this into here to push this rotary breech seal out. Gently, of course, because there is a hole there, so you're trying to avoid. What I should have done was turned it. There we go. I'll turn it a little and give it a little push. But like I said, I did not deburr any of this, so. Oh, and on my Gamo Accu, I had a bad piston seal and breech seal from the factory. Alright, now that I got it this far, as you can see, I'm just going to try to nudge it some more. Gently, because I do want to try to save the seal, but chances are, I don't know, with all this gunk in there. Yep, see, this is the issue. This O-ring is so tight in here, it wants to pop out. So you just got to kind of push it in and work it. And there it goes. Okay. This is the face. Obviously the air comes out here. This is the face. And you can see where the oil's been burning in here. That's just a Gamo trait, as I call it. Here is your O-ring. In this one, I'm going to try to take a good look at it, make sure it's not chipped or cut. And this is the little bugger also. I've done my other videos on the Gamo Accu. Kind of the Achilles heel here too. How can I say? Alright, this is inside the gun, and that spring, that piston is coming down and hitting this all the time. And it just puts wear and tear on this. And you're always rotating it. So that ends up being a little issue later on. Sorry, this goes like this. But this makes contact before any of the surface. So this thing is always getting a beating. That piston's always coming and always hitting this and flattening this out. So eventually you will need a new one. But pretty much this is it. And I was correct with the broken spring. And I think I'm just going to take the parts out of this and put them in my Gamo Accu 22. I just like that rifle a little more. And I enjoy shooting it, and I'll get a hold of Gamo. Okay, so I hope this helps anyone out with a Gamo Accu or any kind of Gamo. These are very easy to tune, deburr, and polish, I should say. I don't want to say. I use a longer screw, trigger screw in this, and it makes a heck of a difference. But you'll be doing that at your own risk. You have to know how this works and how to set this up. You will hurt someone. If you do not do this right, you will hurt yourself or property damage. So you do this on your own liability, anything with a trigger. And that's what I've been saying in most of my videos now, because you know what, there's just too many people out there I'm trying to explain to, or they just think you just throw a longer trigger screw in there and then you're done. That's not how it works. Okay, but I hope this helps everyone out. I'll probably make another video and let everyone know what I do or what I did to with Gamo and parts and all that. So, okay, I wish everyone good shooting, and thank you for watching once again. As someone made a comment today, someone was asking me where the Chrony results were from the RWS 48, and I will get right on that. Had a death in the family not too long ago, so I've been kind of not all there, if you know what I mean. But anyways, I will let everyone know about that, and I will do the video on the Chrony testing of 14, 16, and 18 grain pellets and see what the results are. Okay, thank you for watching once again. I wish you all good shooting and have a great night.